Oh my goodness. We're here. Let's start from the top. You guys are amazing for letting me know that there's no sound. We will start from the top. Hello, my name is Trevor Smith from the Doggie Dojo. We are here to have some fun with our dogs, and I have a couple dogs here today with me. I have Chopsticks and the French Bulldog and Tommy the Corgi. They are here. We are live. We are doing some great training today. If you are here live, you get some questions answered from you. Put them in the comment section down below. If you aren't here live, we can also answer your questions in a future episode or on the podcast or whatever. And we're going to handle some Kaizen principles today from my new podcast, Kaizen by Doggie Dojo, as well as answer your questions along the way. Now, before we get too deep into the water here, let me go ahead and play this little clip for you guys. If you guys saw this earlier, this is the basically my magic trick of obviously it's there's a little trickery behind it. And some people might think when they're training their dog, it's so difficult. Sometimes it feels like magic when you're getting it right and voodoo when you're getting it wrong. But okay, I'll admit that looked like magic, but the real dog training isn't about tricks or quick fixes. It's about consistency, communication, and improvement over time. And so that's the heart of what we talk about here on the Kaizen Doggie Dojo podcast and here on the Doggie Dojo. And if you are new here, let me know. I'd love to hear about that. If this is your first time watching a Doggie Dojo video, if it's not, let me know where you found me, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'd love to hear where you're from and where you've been and what your dog. Put your dogs down in the comments down below. We'd love to know more about your dogs and what you're doing and what your training goals are. And on that note, when it comes to training goals, it's just about getting like 1% better every day. And tonight, you're not going to walk away with like just like some complex program. We're going to break it down some simple steps because that's what Kaizen is. It's simple, 1%, one step at a time improvement with our dogs that can make a huge impact over time. So before we get to the fun stuff, let's talk about foundations. If you've listened to our podcast, you've heard me say this before. Your dog's progress starts with your mindset. And the best handlers out there in the world that I know, they are the ones that notice the small wins and who celebrate progress. And if you show up with calm and clarity when you're training your dog, and then no matter what happens on the field, you can learn from it and improve upon it. So here are 3 quick foundational tips. Use clear markers like the word yes to capture behavior instantly. Keep your sessions short and successful, 2 to 5 minutes tops, and then make your reward meaningful, not just with treats, but with your energy too. We're going to give some examples of that. If you guys have questions or want to see something specific, I have a plan, but that plan is to help you guys out today. So if you have something specific you want me to talk about or know about, let me know in the comments and we'll tackle that. But let's get into it. I want to show you how to teach your dog to spin. First vote of the night. Do y'all want to see the Corgi or the French Bulldog do the spin trick? Now, just to give you some preference on that, the Corgi is a little bit more experienced in the agility area, and my French Bulldog, Chopsticks, is a little less experienced. But she is a little also kind of sensitive and a little shy at times with hands coming towards her, so that's always interesting too. Tommy over here has noticed that there is a toddler hanging out. Our professional camera person might be joining us a little bit later. She might also be adjusting the camera with some food as well. It's about that dinner time. So she's snacking over there and Ty wants to as well. All right, let's jump straight into it. Okay. Come on, mister. I'm going to do Tommy. Chopsticks. Good. I'm going to talk about a little bit of spin and twist with our dogs. And I'm going to switch to a different camera. You'll hear about us talk about our podcast episodes, and there's like tricks and like that are just cute, but there's also like confidence building things you can do to connect with your dog. And so here's the trick step by step. Spin and twist. If you haven't seen it already, you basically take your dog's treat from their nose and put it to the rear and have them spin around you. This is great foundations. We use this a lot in our training when it comes to canine fitness. It also is great warm up for your dogs for agility. But one of the things in agility, I think I see some agility folk in here, right here. Let's see. Tux the Blue Pomsky, nice to see you here. You are here to enjoy the ride. And oh, great, I picked the correct one, Kathleen. Rami, I'm so glad you're here today. She's a big corgi friend of mine. And the other one said, let's do chopsticks. So maybe we'll do a little bit of both. Chopsticks, we'll do some demos in the future, but Kathleen beat you to the punch there when it comes to comments. You got to be quick, y'all. Got to be quick. But one of the things in agility that I find that you can do is a spin to the left and spin to the right, but at your side. A lot of tricks that we do, whether it be sit or down, we do a lot of those things in front of us. And what happens and tends to happen in agility, what becomes a problem is the dog wants to gravitate and turn into us all the time. So when you're training your dog, if you are interested in doing dog agility or dog sports, see if you can get your dog to do the same things you ask him to do in front of you, but at your side. So that way the dog gets more rehearsed at doing behaviors and getting reinforcement here, which in a pet dog world is also a problem. When you're always rewarding and training your dog in front, when you go on a loose leash walk, the dog also wants to always be in front. So build that value. We call this in dog agility world, value for side, but it works great for the pet dog world as well. And value for side can also be, well, we got Tommy out here. He did good. We're going to switch it up. We'll do some chopsticks. Tommy, come here. They're doing so good switching crates for me. So let's talk about value for side for a second. This is off script a little bit, but what we're going to do is for your pet dog stuff as well, find that little seam in your pants and reinforce your dog right there. And work on that happening pretty often so that your dog, when they're walking next to you, starts to learn and starts to want to be at your side and get reward enforcement at your side instead of always in front of you. Now, some of you guys might also have a hard time with bending down or bending over with a small dog. So that's why I got some small dogs today too. So you can always do like a little search cookie to search and drop the cookie on the ground too. Search. The reason I always say the word search is I want to make sure the dog knows that that they are allowed to get their food or reinforcement off the ground at that point. Well, let's see if you have any questions. You have the Tux likes to be front and center for the treats. Oh, yes. And here's a little tip for you guys. If your dog's struggling, break it down into smaller steps. That's what Kaizen's all about. Think progress, not perfection. When you're working on more complex tricks, sometimes like play dead or bang or roll over, sometimes trying to get the dog to play all the way dead on the side or roll all the way over is too much. Just reward them for trying or for effort. And those little small steps. And we talked about that in a recent podcast episode. We're rewarding for effort and rewarding for them trying versus just always getting it right every single time. We all are right there. We all hate it when people are always like wanting the right, always be right. Don't ever do anything wrong or anything like that. We like to be rewarded for our progress and our little steps towards the goal. You know, when we're maybe doing some working out and we're trying to get in better shape, we like the people that tell us like, hey, have you been working out? Have you been getting in shape? You know, maybe you only lost like 5 pounds and you don't feel like very confident about the fact that you just only have lost 5 pounds. You've been working out for a month. And then this is nothing, not like I've done this or anything like that. Guilty. But when someone comes up to you and says, hey, you've been working out, and that could like that 5 pounds, you know, went from like this small little like opportunity or goal that you accomplished this gigantic mountain of achievement. Like, oh my gosh, someone notices that I'm putting effort into me working out. Same thing with your dog. Notice the effort, the dog will give you more. We all run into challenges, barking, jumping, pulling on leash. And here, and we don't talk about this enough, but most problems aren't fixed by like control and controlling the dog. We talk a lot about controlling the dog, and we use a lot of tools to try to control the dog, but it's more fixed by like connection. And if your dogs are barking, ask yourself, well, why are they barking? Are they barking because they need attention? And why are they pulling? Do they understand that value for side like we talked about a second ago? This is the stuff we dig deep in the podcast, but like that is the why behind the trainer. You want to understand and you want to make sure to make it easier when it comes to guiding your dog with your heart and with your mind and with your body and all those little steps in between. This is the time, little reminder. Thanks for joining us here on the Doggie Dojo. I have put links in the description for the podcast and everything else. And I also, if you guys are interested, put comment the word comment the word woof down below, and I'll contact you about any future like training guides or live streams or things like that. I have a little PDF download for y'all that talks about some of the stuff we talked about tonight and more. But let's jump into your questions. And again, anything goes. And if you have a question we don't answer, if you're watching this on replay, feel free. Always, guys, message me on Instagram at the Doggie Dojo, or leave a comment on this particular video or any of my podcasts. I love digging into training situations. One of my next episodes coming up that I have on the podcast is comes directly from a conversation this morning. One of my future episodes on the podcast is going to talk about warm-ups and cool-downs, warming you and your dog up. This podcast isn't just about the dog, it's also about the human, and cooling and making sure you're cooling down at the end of an agility run or any high activity exercise that you're doing. The next episode, though, I am so excited. It's what happened there? It's all about motivation. Like, what motivates your dog? What are those triggers? And it's based off a book I just read recently. It talks about the 3 triggers of novelty and unexpected intentions, and then reinforcement. So those novelty triggers are really good to get your dog interested in you. We're going to talk about all that in the future podcast. And I don't see any questions, but thank you again for spending this time with me tonight. And I hope you walked away with something, with being confident when we're connected, or in small changes, one session at a time. So once again, you can subscribe to the podcast. It's available on Apple and Spotify and everywhere else, or anything else you need. But let's answer a common question with chopsticks here, and that is how to get my dog more confident. So I'm going to show you guys a little skill here. We're going to go off the script here since we don't have any questions from y'all. We're going to jump in here and we're going to answer some questions from you guys. We're going to do a little canine fitness. How's that sound? To give you all insight of what's happening in the future. So this is something I've been doing with some of my corgi friends, but also I haven't done this with chopsticks yet, but I thought it'd be really cool. So let's first talk about front paw placement versus rear paw placement with our dogs. Ooh, Blue Pomsky, I see your question. We're going to come to you in just like 30 seconds to a minute here. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to do all 4 paws as well after we answer the wonderful question about front paw. Make sure your dogs know how to do a front paw placement and also a rear paw placement. This is great for contact. So this kind of goes into your question there. We're going to pull it up here in a second. But making sure your dog knows where their front paws are in the world and their back paws are in the world can be super important. And making sure your dog has balance and core strength to be able to do the things we're asking them to do. That is a big problem. A lot of times we ask our dogs to do things, we expect them to behave well, but then we haven't taught them what behaving well is. What's the picture? Going back, we talked about a lot tonight. Going back and to think about what is the mental picture you're trying to get your dog to do. And has that been drawn before? If I go back here to y'all. If I said, hey, draw a picture of my dog, London. Now, some of you know what London looks like. You're like, I could draw a picture of London if I could. If you're like, I don't draw very well. Or if I even asked you, like, hey, describe what my dog London looks like. You'd be like, what does your dog London look like? Now, if I showed you a picture of London and then I asked you to draw it or describe it, that would be like, light bulb, I could do that. But what happens so often is that we're doing the same thing with our dogs. We're saying, hey, stop pulling on leash. Hey, stop barking. Hey, stop jumping on my guests. We haven't shown them what to do instead. We haven't given them the picture or the behavior or the reward or the behavior we want them to do instead of those behaviors. We haven't taught them value for side instead of pulling on leash. We haven't taught them to jump up. I'm going to bring Tommy out here in a second. We haven't taught them to sit instead of jump up. We haven't taught them to go play with a toy and grab a toy if you want my attention instead of just barking at me. So those are the things I want you guys to think about. All right, let's jump into this question right here. What are your tips for someone wanting to get into agility? Is there any baseline commands that should be focused on first? Yes. If y'all heard a noise in the background. Ta-da! So yes, there is. And I think you, Blue Pomsky, I know you follow me on Instagram. So I have an agility prep series that I just did, and it's free that you can join. So I'm going to send that to you directly. But the thing I would do for, and I also have another series that it's called All-Star Foundations. I would work on a ton of flat work skills like we talked about before, where the value for side. I'm going to do one right here quickly with Tommy here, since you asked so nicely for this question. And if you are watching this on replay, guys, again, go ahead. I want to be back and do more live streams with y'all. Getting back in the groove here on the Doggie Dojo. I want to make sure y'all have all the answers you need, but we're going to bring out Mr. Tommy. I'm deciding whether to do this with a toy or whether to do this with a treat. We'll start with treat because Tommy does that. So one of the games I think is really good is called Focus Forward. We talked about value for side, but Focus Forward is good. We also, there's also a behavior called It's Your Choice, where you teach them to leave food alone. So let's talk about that real quickly. So it's your choice being, take some handful of food in your hands. You got some music in the background here. That's right. And you're going to show them the cookies. If they try to go for them, you close your hand. This is a very important skill. Like y'all like, this is so easy. Isn't that leave it? How's that related to agility? When you're running 20 obstacles with your dog and you want them to do the obstacles in order, you need to make sure they listen and don't just do whatever's in front of them. Don't just grab the treat that's out of your hand. That they actually wait for you to give it to them and you let them know that they can have it. Why that's related and why I wanted to show that to y'all is that this next scale is Focus Forward. Right now, I'm just going to say, toss a cookie out and say, get it. And that's to go take the obstacle in front of you, right? You do this all the time in agility. Line up on our side. There's a jump in front of them, and you tell them to go jump. In this case, a cookie on the ground, get it. And they go get the cookie. What I did with chopsticks as well, getting that proprioception was super good. Now, where the leave it skill comes into play, what I would like to do with Tommy with the cookie is wait. Right now, he's yanking and pulling at the collar. Sit. And I don't want to let go of the collar and just let him get it without permission. So eventually, I would like to get him to a point where I can slowly let go of the collar, and he waits for me to say, get it. Good job. I saw that little nice backing up skill. See how he backed up? And he listened and waited. So that's some of the stuff that I have in my agility prep course. And that agility prep course is a really cool thing. I decided just to keep adding to it as like I find all the resources, because I have done so many videos on YouTube and on Doggie Dojo. If you have noticed, my Instagram and my TikToks like that has been flooded with great content lately, because I had a friend that told me, my friend Chrissy and Amber, they're like, Trevor, you have so much content. You need to spice it up, make it shorter, because I have some really long pieces forms of content, so it's more digestible for people to understand. So I've been doing that. And I've also been taking it and putting it into like some free online courses and formats. So you guys don't have to go like digging through my YouTube channel to find the specific video you want. You have like a nice organized system of behaviors to work through. So I'm going to send that to you guys. Anybody else that's interested in that? You having fun back there? Yeah. Can we give a like a hands up, paws up, thumbs up, something in the comments for our awesome toddler over there who has done a fantastic job, working on a project over there all by herself. And also the dogs. Can we give some woofs in the comments down below as well? Woofs is for getting you guys the information. You can give me woofs anyway. But we give some paws up for the dogs as well for doing such a great job and leaving all the food that's over there for the toddler. Speaking about It's Your Choice, there is a table about this high with toddler food on it. And Tommy looked at it for a second and left it alone. So did Chopstick. So progress. We're working towards things. I know. She's doing great, isn't she, Kathleen? I enjoyed talking with y'all. I'm hoping to do some more trainings in here. And if you guys are watching this live, let me know what you'd like to see in the future for some training, some live trainings. I want to jump in here regularly because we're dissecting and we're putting together all this information from the Kaizen podcasts. And I want to give a chance to get some feedback in what you guys are learning. Tommy found Jack the Skeleton in the background. So he's ready to party. I would say let's do some toy training before we head out, because I'm trying to work on some toy training with Tommy. Thank you, buddy. That's Jack the Skeleton. I don't think my wife would love you to choose that. Woo, party. I'm going to get one of his other fun toys. So one of the behaviors that I've been struggling with Tommy on, this is just a bonus for sticking around to the end. Always stick around the end of my videos. There's always some bonus secret tips. Is giving up his toy. He came to me from a previous owner, and whatever history with him, there's been a lot of history with him having very huge distrust and getting toys back from people. So let's see what happens when I throw this toy out. In the past, he'd grab this toy, run across the room, and not even bring it close to me. What he just did there is progress, heading towards me. I could have done an easier toy. This is his absolute favorite toy, so I'm making it extra hard. Yes, good boy. Good. Search. So I'm saying search or get it, letting him have a cookie. Now, when toys are high arousal for Tommy, they are really difficult for him to give up. And there's no amount of food that you can give him to give up the toy, because he's so excited about playing with the toy and not getting food that he won't even take a cookie off the ground. And I'm seeing that right there. I tossed the cookie on the ground. He's like, forget it. No, thanks. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reinforce him for being around me and me being around him with the toy. I'm just going to be near him. As you can see, there's so much distrust. It's such a cool video. You guys' experience, like so much distrust with humans and toys. Good boy. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Ready? Get it. Good. I want to let him know that if I get a hold of his toy, I'm not keeping it forever. Dogs in general, this is going a little more pet topic-y, won't give toys up because there's so much history of your dog getting punished for grabbing shoes, socks, toddler toys. Trust me, I know that giving something up to you is punishment. You need to let your dog know that giving stuff up to you is reinforcement. I've done that as a flip-flop with my dog Mochi. Good boy. And we get everything. A little, sometimes too many things. But like things like really cool, like after my toddler finishes her milk bottle, he brings me the milk bottle in the kitchen so I can go wash it. After we finish feeding the dogs, he goes in the kennels instead of me having to crawl in and grab the bowl out of the back of the kennel. He goes and grabs it for me and brings it to me. So like those things are really nice. Uh-oh. Got a little danger section here. Oh, he's good. He went to the camera equipment over there. Okay. So what we're going to work towards is him learning that me getting your toy is okay. There's a cookie for that. See, he doesn't even really want the cookie. Get it. Good job. I like how you brought it back towards me. Thank you. Boy, super. See, we're giving it up. This is actually progress. Here you go. Boy, and not just running away with it. He has all these little straps on here. He could totally grab it and completely run away with it if he wanted to, but he's choosing to engage me with it and let me get it. Walk up to him. Good boy. Good job. Good boy. Thank you. See, that instinct in him is to like say, you can't have it. Good boy. Good job. Get it. And him actually taking cookies is actually a bonus as well. Cool. You guys have been amazing. I've had so much fun. Oh, Megan, you're brand new to this. We were just chilling and answering questions and playing some party time with our dogs. One big thing I love to do with dogs at the end of a training session, this is kind of a short training session, is play. Teach your dog to play and have some fun. Now, that doesn't always mean toys. It can mean other things as well. It can mean just like petting and loving on your dog. Some dogs aren't very toy motivated, and that's just whether it be from upbringing or just natural inclination. They're just not toy motivated, and that's totally okay and acceptable. I personally love to have all the different types of reinforcements in the world. We talk about all the time on Doggie Dojo. Food is great, but you also would love to have toys, touch, praise. Ken Ramirez talks about all these different types of reinforcers you can do with dogs or animals as well. Anything from like snapping your fingers, clapping your hands. We see this in agility all the time when agility dogs are kind of slowly moving through the course, and people start applauding for the dog. They speed up because they're excited and having fun. There's a lot of things out there that can reinforce your dog. So don't get stuck in a rut with just one type of reinforcement. Great. Any questions, Megan? Now, the blue Pomsky, I'm saying blue Pomsky because that's what's showing me here. Let me know your name as well as we communicate in the future. I'm going to send you some resources because you asked. And we'll be having some more fun. Thanks for joining here on the Doggie Dojo. As always, have some fun with your dogs. And